Hello everybody, I am playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, as you can see by this lovely logo up here in the upper right corner of the screen that says Roller Coaster Tycoon. This includes two expansions, Corkscrew Follies, Loopy Landscapes. As you can see here, I have already finished all of the scenarios for the original game. It took me a couple years. I've been playing this game lately, and I finished all the original campaigns. So we're going to be doing Corkscrew Follies pack, and we're going to start. The first map will be Fruit Farm. So for those of you who don't know, I'll quickly explain this game. This game, you build a theme park, obviously, and you want to get lots of guests into your park. You want to get lots of visitors into your park, and you want them to ride your rides and pay lots of money. You want to get lots of money from your guests. So in this one, we're doing Fruit Farm. So it's a thriving fruit farm has built a miniature railroad to boost its income. Your job is to develop it into a full-blown amusement park. So in this one, our objective is to get 1,100 guests by the end of October year 2. And if you notice in the bottom right corner, we have the nice little calendar that tells us the date. If you're wondering right now, there should be a mouse on the screen, but that does not want to display for some reason during these recordings. So yeah, there's a ghost mouse in this. That's okay. You can still tell what I'm doing, even though you can't see the mouse cursor. All right, so this is usually how we get started with this game. Is we want to try to get oriented here and look at what we have to work with. So right now there's just one ride, and it's a miniature railroad that is free. So that's a problem. I have to charge people for that. And the admission price is $5 currently. So as you build more rides and your park gets better, you can raise the price of the admission as well as start charging for rides. Right now, our park is pretty crappy. There's not much going on. There's just a railway. So we're gonna start building some rides soon. I also noticed there's a park rating we have here, which is also displayed in the lower left corner of the screen, where it tells us the number of guests, and there's a thumbs down and a thumbs up. And we want to get as close to thumbs up as we possibly can. That's a better park rating. Okay, so they start us out with $8,000, and it's a loan, so we're in debt a little bit right now, but that's okay because we need that money to get operations up and running. That's how this tends to work. So let's see. Let's build a roller coaster. Let's build something simple first, something that doesn't take too long. I won't. Let's see. So here are all the rides that we have to pick from. So we have gentle rides here, which are Ferris wheels. There's like a maze and a golf course, and here we have the types of roller coasters that we can build, and that's where the fun comes in this game, obviously, designing some solid roller coasters. Ooh, and they start us out with steel. I have a little trick that I do with steel roller coasters to make a lot of money. I'll show you that in a little bit here. And then we have thrill rides, which are, you know, swinging ships and this thing that, dizziness, people, ride and they throw up everywhere. So that's lovely. All right. And we have water rides and we have shops and stalls and whatnot. So the first thing we should actually probably do is build a information kiosk, because that allows people to buy maps and umbrellas for our park, which is pretty important. I'm going to do that. So right now, here's a list of all, in this screen that I'm moving around, a list of all the rides we have. It's pretty boring because it's just a railroad. So let's start doing stuff. So let's build this information kiosk. And we want to put it, the best place would be somewhere next to the entrance, most likely. So what I like to do here is I like to position this somewhere in the center of a path, because as you notice, the information kiosk, people can buy goods from the information kiosk from any side of it. So we can't do that here. Crap. Okay. Well, we're going to have to fix that. So let's delete that. Let's move this somewhere where I can build a little circle-y thing. Screw it. For right now, we'll put it here. what I was talking about earlier was that we could do this, so we could have like a little circle around it. That I think that might be better. That might actually make people buy things more often. I'm not entirely sure people actually buy things more often when it's like this, but I like it like this. So this is what we're going with. Also, alternatively, I could just rearrange this path here, alright, so that this would be better. We can have it going like this. Oof. Oh, okay. Alright, so we need to make sure that we turn this on. It's open, so it's open right now. Okay, let me zoom out here a little bit, get a better view of this park. Okay, we should probably get a few bathrooms, so we'll do that later. Let's build a ride. So we're gonna start with a swinging ship. It's pretty classic. Okay, let's put this. Doesn't really matter where. We just need to get some rides in our park. We need to get some people using our park. We need to make lots of money. This is the objective of this game. Alright, so I'll put it there, put an entrance there, and an exit there. You need an entrance and an exit for your ride. And you also need something called a queue line. It's part of the footpaths here, so we can choose. Oh, in the original game, it only lets you do blue, but in the expansion, it lets you have a variety of lovely colors. They added lots of colors to this, and I like that. It's nice to get some variety to your park, to get colors, make things colorful and nice looking. So I'll just go with green, I guess. I guess here will be like, this is kind of a more laid back ride, because if you'll notice. Well, we can't see it yet, but when I turn this on and it finishes its test run, it's got to go through a little test run, it'll display its test results here, which will tell us the intensity of the ride as well as the excitement rating. And right now, obviously, this just, this ride has one. I think it's somewhere around like 2 for each or less. It's not very exciting or intense. Those are the big roller coasters that we're going to make here in a second. That's where the money comes in. This just gives us some extra rides, so it's an incentive for people to come into our park. We'll charge $1 for that. We'll also, this can't be free anymore, so we'll charge $1 for this too. And $5, we'll leave $5 as admission because we want to get people into our park, so that's fine. So right now we have a ride. We have our first ride, which is a swinging ship. Beautiful. And the first ride that I built. I mean, if you want to call the railroad a ride, I guess. I mean, it's a little lame. It just goes around the park. It's a train that goes around the park. It's not very exciting. In fact, it's about, well, actually, it is exciting according to this, 5.37. All right. Well, intense. It's not very intense. So we need things that are intense in this park. And right here it says, yeah, like I said, it's around 2 for each. 2.5 excitement intensity for this ride. And we have people should be queuing up for this ride. There's 2 people just kind of sitting there looking pretty bored. But that ride should start up soon. I'm going to turn the number of swings down to 7. You can, that makes it go back and forth. And we'll get rid of the minimum waiting time. Those people right there in the ship, they're just kind of sitting there like, what the hell's going on right now? Come on, start the ride. But, I can't really do much about that. I'm sorry. Poor guests having to wait so long. Their entire life is just... The entire life of all of these guests is just to walk into a theme park mindlessly and ride rides. It's like this, I'm like a sick kind of deity in this game. I love it. In fact, you can, one of the classic things you can do in this game is you can pick people up, dangle them around, and you can just drop them. You can drown them and stuff too. So that's another reason. This game's awesome. So I would recommend everyone play this game. It's available on GOG. If you don't know, that's Good Old Games. You can buy this for like $10, like the entire game, and it's freaking amazing. So, all right, we have a thrill ride. Let's get some more rides. We gotta keep our rides coming. This is extremely important in this game. So let's do a Ferris wheel. That's good old. Oh, guests are commenting your park entrance fee is too cheap. Okay, well we can fix that. Let's put it at 10. And then I don't know why they think $5 is too cheap. It's just a railroad and a ship, and I'm charging for both. So, man, these guests, they're they're pretty nice, you know, wanting me to charge more. I guess. All right, so here we go. We'll put a Ferris wheel over here. Yeah, let's do that. So we'll make like a okay, if I remember correctly, this is really important in this game. You want to make sure that the entrance to the Ferris wheel is pretty short because like the queue line gets way too long on this one, and guests complain that like we're waiting forever to get into the Ferris wheel. So I usually make the entrance pretty short, the queue line entrance pretty short to the Ferris wheel. Okay, so we got that. Oh, we got to make sure we charge and open the ride. It is up and running. 1 rotation, not 2. That's better. We can actually play music too. We can. And the expansion they give you. This is a new thing. This wasn't in the original game. They actually let you play all these different types of music. So that's pretty cool. Anyway. Let's get another ride. Let's get another ride. Well, let's first get a bathroom because my guests are going to be, pissing themselves if I don't do this. Yeah, it's not going to be good for my park rating, to have guests just, soiling themselves constantly. So we want to have a bathroom somewhere. Where should we put this? It doesn't even really matter. We just got to have a bathroom somewhere. Later on, we'll get some more bathrooms because 1 bathroom, is not enough. When you have like 1,000 guests in your park, it's pretty bad. Like 1,000 guests using just 1 bathroom. It's pretty gross. Okay, we'll get some more shops and stalls later on. But for now, let's do something more exciting. Let's build a steel roller coaster. I'll show you a little trick here. Oftentimes, they don't start you out with the steel roller coaster. You'll have to research. And speaking of which, I almost forgot to do this. Let's do this real quick. So you want to make sure that you have this research tab, right? And I always set this to maximum funding. I turn off roller coasters because, I mean, come on, we got so many roller coasters already that they give us. Let's turn off gentle rides because gentle rides are kind of boring. And let's turn off scenery and theming, who cares, and ride improvements. So usually I just stick with thrill rides and shops and stalls, maximum funding for research into that. And what happens is, about every month when the calendar updates, you get new rides that are researched. So, eventually we'll get some more water rides, if I had roller coasters clicked actually, but I don't. So we'll get more thrill rides, which is this tab, and we'll get shops and stalls, which is this tab, which is, I think thrill rides are the most important thing to research early on, which is why I do it. Let's build a steel roller coaster. Let's get back to the main order of business here. So I'm going to build a steel roller coaster. Here's a trick. I'll show you a trick. So you see the shuttle loop here, right? The design of this, of course, you can't see it until I place it, but look how it's just kind of like a straight line thingy. So I work off of the shuttle loop design here. This is the best design to get the maximum or near the maximum amount of money you can get from an individual ride is by doing this type of design for a roller coaster, similar to the shuttle loop. So I'll show you how this is done. This is this makes the game like super easy. Sometimes I feel like I'm cheating if I do this. Although, to be fair, they don't always give you steel roller coaster right away. There's a few other roller coasters that you can do kind of cheap things with to get lots of money. But it's all all's fair in Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's all right. So we're gonna start building this. We got to find the first order of business. Let's find a plot of land where we can put this. Now, one of the great things about this design, this roller coaster design, is that it doesn't take up much space, which is why it's so good. Because you're limited by space here. I mean, this is the border of the map. I cannot build outside of this. So it's nice to have compact rides, that don't take up much room. Of course, You can always at some point build underground, which gets really interesting and convoluted, but we can do that too. It's to save space. Okay, I feel so bad because, to build all these rides, I'm going to have to destroy these lovely trees. Ugh, that sucks. I mean, this is like a lovely fruit farm, and I'm just this evil entrepreneur that's come in and just destroying all the lovely landscape and putting up rides. But, that's what people will pay for, so that's what we do. We destroy nature, and we build things to entertain ourselves with. That's what us humans do. Okay. Alright, here's a good spot. So we'll put it here. So we'll actually probably want the entrance somewhere close to the... Actually, we could just... Yeah, we could do that. Okay. We'll put it here. So, of course, we're going to have to remove some of these lovely trees, unfortunately, because they're going to get in the way. You can't, build through trees in this game. So let's start... I'll start this going this way. Is this going to work? Let me make sure I didn't screw anything up here. Cover the entrance on the right side, so that should be okay. So we want to build, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is the fun part because we get to build a roller coaster. So we want 8, and I'll tell you why I made it 8 in a little bit, because I believe it's either 8 or 7, somewhere around there, that is the minimum amount of rails to get the maximum amount of trains. But in this one, it's set to continuous circuit mode, but we're going to do powered launch mode here. So powered launch mode only lets you use 1 train, but if you have somewhere around above 7 or 8 tracks, you can have 8 cars per train. Otherwise, if this is too small, you have less cars per train. And obviously, we want the maximum amount of cars per train we can have, because that's how you fit the most amount of people in this. And if you just do some basic math here, you can see the capacity is 4 passengers per car. There are 8 cars per train, and we only have 1 train. In continuous circuit mode, you can have more. But this design, this is good because this ride is really fast. It's fast, and you can charge a lot for it. It's exciting. It doesn't take up much room. This coaster is the best coaster, in my opinion, that you can basically make in this game to make lots of money. So that's why we're doing this. I usually set so in powered launch mode, the way this works, continuous launch mode or continuous circuit mode just goes around in a circle, around a track, and it loops back to this side. So it'll start here, it'll go around. Can't see my mouse, sorry about that. So it starts at the front of the roller coaster, and it loops back to the back. It's pretty straightforward. Powered launch mode, it just basically shoots off, and it comes back and stops. You'll see how it works. So we're going to put that on 51, and we'll start with 49 miles per hour because this can crash. This type of roller coaster, you can have your people shoot off and explode. It's pretty bad if that happens. So you want to make sure not to set the launch speed so high that it'll just launch your people off the coaster and into their imminent doom. Of course, it's always fun to do at least once. I think that's the initiation to this game. You have to crash your roller coaster at least once on purpose, just to be a sadistic bastard. That's okay though. We're gonna finish this. I'm just rambling so much right here. Okay, so this is the design. So we're going to do a vertical loop left. Okay. And we're going to do one of these, and we're going to do an on-ride photo. This is how we increase our money even more. We do an on-ride photo section. You charge for the photos. People buy your photos. You get lots more money. Okay, we're going to do, at this point, we're going to start going up. Okay. All right. We just want to make this, basically as high as we can. So that's as high as it can go. And right now, we want to test it to make sure that our guests that ride this ride don't explode, because that would be bad. So we need an entrance first before we can test it. We need an entrance and exit. So we want the entrance to be as close to the start of the roller coaster as possible. Otherwise, you waste time for the people to walk through the entrance and to like walk all the way to the front. So if I put like the entrance here, right? People will come through this entrance. They'll walk to the front. It'll take a lot of time. It'll waste time. So you want to make sure your entrance is as close to where the roller coaster shoots off, as possible. That's the best strategy here. Exit doesn't matter. Okay, your exit just needs to connect to a path, which is what's going on here. We'll make this path a red. I don't know, for intense. This is an intense ride. It's red. Okay. We're gonna do something a little bit fancier with this. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have this pathway pretty long because I want this to go. I want this to be one of the first rides a lot of our guests ride, somewhere around the first ride. So we can just, the nice thing about this is we can have paths go up and around in every which way. It's a three-dimensional grid that we're working with here. So I could actually just, it doesn't really matter. We can just have some crazy pathways going all over the place in this game. But I want this pathway to be pretty long, to be, that's a pretty long pathway right there, pretty long queue line, because it doesn't really matter. This ride is so fast, like this queue line, people will just, they'll queue up, but it's so fast, like some people ride this ride at once. It doesn't even matter. Okay, now we want to, let's name our ride. I almost forgot, we get to name our rides. So this one I'm just going to call Twister. Yeah, this is Twister. It's a Twister ride. And this one, it just says, defaulted to swing shift 1. I usually get rid of the 1s just because it's personal preference. Same thing with this one. Let's get rid of the 1. Be a little bit more professional here, running an amusement park, for crying out loud. Okay. Alright, let's test this ride. Make sure that this doesn't launch. Good. It's not powerful enough to launch. But, let's have some fun here. So we can save this game, right? And then we can be really evil just to show you what will happen if you set this value too high, the launch speed. It will crash and everyone will die. This might still not crash. Oof. Oh, okay. Wow, we built this to the point where it won't even crash at the maximum speed, which is 60 miles per hour. So we're going to close this because we have to do this at least once, right? Delete that, open it back up, and now you'll see what happens.